The Adventures of Elliot. Square's Team Asano is back, delivering you the greatest games that those big devs won't give you. This time with a top-down adventure game very akin to The Legend of Zelda, and it slaps.
So Eric and I played the heck out of this demo, and we thought it'd be fun to talk about things we liked, things we didn't, and the fact that this team is looking for our direct feedback, the players.
Absolutely, and I think this game has a ton of potential to be an absolute banger if they just smooth it out a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot to love here.
There's so much to love. You're already looking at like a Zelda clone, right? So
and a really good one too.
But this one, I think just they've got their thumb on it. They understand it. They're also using that, their classic style, which is that like 2D, 3D, Octopath, triangle strategy looking like
HD 2D.
HD 2D. That's the stuff right there. That's the stuff, baby.
When I went aside and hit up my first optional dungeon, it was great. It was a wonderful little loop, but the treasure or like the items you get at the end of these things,
the payoff is there. Yeah.
It's so good already. Right off the rip, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and that's such a big component of these games is like the getting rewarded for what you're doing.
Exactly. It's like your Link to the Past, your Link's Awakening remake. You find a new cave and oh, you bet it's going to be worth exploring that thing. Even if it's nothing more than a life container, a piece of heart, that's still so sick, right? It's well worth your time to get that.
The dungeons are also like expertly designed.
I think so, yeah.
We've seen this before in like Octopath. These dungeon layouts are awesome. They're winding and twisted, and you got to find the key over here to get to the door in here, and then drop down, and like it looks great.
You're gonna hate me for comparing it to this, but they do the Dark Souls thing, where like you get far enough, and then you open up this genius like one-way connection. So now you can get to like the beginning of it super fast.
Yeah.
Because you made your way through.
Yeah, you made the loop, and then you got back, and now you can take the next route.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, and I would say let's just talk combat, dude. They immediately like give you your loadout, right? Like you start the game with bombs, bow and arrow, and sword. Yeah. And like you're right away like, oh, I know how to play this game. But what they do is take it a step farther, like where like in Zelda, you just shoot an arrow, right? With this game, you can hold it and charge it, and you can shoot like 2 arrows at once.
It's sick.
Yeah, and it's the same with your sword. This guy has like a charge up like slash that like it's like a blade beam, right?
Yeah, and they're encouraging you to play well with the drop bonus as well, which I thought was genius. So if you get hit, it essentially cancels out your combo count.
Yeah, and again, it's just more rewarding for you as the player to like, get nice, like start hitting people, play a little smarter so you're not like taking unnecessary hits, so you can get that combo meter up, get more drops.
Yeah.
And then, and then you get the big loot when you finish the dungeon. So it's just an even more engaging and rewarding experience for the player to have something like that in there.
Yeah, it's fun. This game is fun.
It's great, man. Another thing I love about it is the shield mechanic.
Oh, I love it.
So you have a shield, but they kind of took a page out of like Tunic's book where you can only get hit like twice, and then like your shield endurance like wears out.
Yeah, so you can't rely on the shield fully. You can't hide behind it.
Can't hide behind the shield. Yeah. You can block or whatever to get yourself out of a bad situation, but then you got to get back in the fight.
Also rewards someone who's nice at it though, because there is a perfect block.
Yes,
which will not penalize your like shield stamina.
Shield stamina, totally.
Just so good.
And who doesn't love a parry counter system, right? It always feels so good when you can get that ting and like reflect something back, right?
You playing like a slut. Yeah.
So it's just another like element they added on to this that we're familiar with, but just works in this genre really well.
Yeah.
I would say the only thing that it's missing right now is a nice dodge roll, or just some sort of quick dash.
Sure.
To get out of the way. I think it would make combat a little bit snappier, a little like faster.
We have this fairy companion, who we'll get into, but she comes with a couple of abilities right out of the gate. One of them is the ability to like essentially fly and zip around super quick, and the other one is to warp to her location.
Yeah.
So you can almost kind of get like a dash out of that ability, but it's got a cooldown. You can't really use it more than twice in a short amount of time.
It's got a cooldown, and you also use the right stick to control the fairy and her location, right? So it's a little it's a little too involved if you're like in the moment.
Yeah, you're
and you
slashing
need to move
it up.
quick. You can't really like figure out how to move your fairy to a spot and then warp to it.
Yeah,
right?
you don't want to take your thumb off of the attack button or, jump button.
I would say it's an awesome mechanic to use to set yourself up.
Oh, yeah.
Because another awesome thing they added into this style of game is back attack damage. So like you get additional damage output if you hit them from the back.
I'm gonna hit you in the back.
So
back attack.
And so the fairy is perfect for that because you can like fly the fairy around to the behind the enemy, use the warp spell, and then hit him in the back, getting some extra damage.
And I bring up the abilities, the fairy abilities, because I think one of the first gameplay things that Team Asano could cook a little bit more on is the button configuration. For example, A isn't doing anything, and Eric and I felt like having just 2 items out at a time, kind of not enough, right? Like we had this in Link's Awakening, we had this obviously in A Link to the Past, but we were only limited to 2 items or weapons at a time because of the controllers at the time.
Yeah, the limitations of the hardware.
Yeah. Like my guys, we got a lot more buttons now.
So many buttons.
So many buttons. Yeah. So it's like I want my sword or my sickle, who doesn't love a sickle, to be on Y basically at all times. I'm not trying to swap that out.
Sure.
So then it's like it's always a dance now to swap out my bow or my bombs.
Yeah.
And that was kind of exhausting.
Yeah.
Like A should be a 3rd mappable button. No?
Yeah, because I mean, A right now they just have to like your talk button or examine.
Confirm,
so it's like your interaction button.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I think that is easily moved to X, which is your jump button, when you're in proximity of it.
Yeah.
So it's like when
contextual.
Exactly. So like if I'm standing in front of a chest, now my jump button just becomes my open chest button, right? That A button, do something entirely different, which I would love a dodge roll, but we'd also could use it as a 3rd item slot, which would be super helpful.
Yeah, we don't have to go into that.
Don't have to use the quick menu as much.
Which, speaking of the quick menu,
yeah,
they do this thing where it's just so snappy and it's so nice having like a quick weapon wheel.
Yeah, love that.
But they counteract it.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's this thing where like I'm hovering over the bombs, and I want the bomb to be X.
Mm-hmm.
I can't just press X like you could in a Zelda game.
Yeah.
You have to select it and then move it to the item slot. It's just like, come on.
Yeah, I would say the thing they need to touch on is like the clunkiness of their menus and how many times you have to press a button to get what you want. So like in this case, the quick, quote unquote, quick menu, you have to open it up, then you have to cycle to the quick menu you want. In this case would be like your items menu. Then you have to highlight the item you want, select it, highlight the button you want to configure it to, select it, and now you're good to go. When it would be super simple if you would just hit the quick menu, there's your items, highlight the one you want, press the button you want it to be configured to, and then it's assigned and you can get out, just like in and out.
Done, kid.
Yeah, so in and out is like what we're looking for.
Yeah.
And I would say the same thing for the potions. Like,
yeah,
because this is when you're in the heat of battle. You want to heal and you want to get back in the fight, right? So it's like you want to open up that menu, you want to heal, you want to get back in the fight. Where this one, again, you have to open the quick menu, cycle over a few menus, select the potion, use the potion, get back out of the menu.
Yeah, that's about 5 clicks too many.
It's too many. And like, especially with the healing, because you just want the quick heal and you don't want to stop the action, right?
Yeah.
So like, I would love to see that on the D-pad.
Ooh, okay.
Can we talk about the fairy? Let's talk some more about the fairy, okay? Because it seems to be a big mechanic that they're really focused on, and I don't quite know why yet.
Sure, we only have the demo, so her level of importance could open up and we just don't see it yet. Sure.
Totally. Like I think they're cooking something up here, but we haven't seen it yet. So you have a fairy companion.
Yeah.
Right? She takes over your D-pad, right? So you have up, sensor out ahead of you, and she can like attack enemies and pick up loot and stuff. Right tells her to stop, and then she just don't do that. And then down hides her, and she goes in your pocket or something. She just disappears. But while she's hidden, you can't use your spells.
Which is whack.
right? So it's like, why would I ever want to hide her?
Exactly.
If I can't use my spells.
I can't see that right now.
So I can only imagine that they must be trying to, maybe there's some dungeon to come where like, you know, if the fairy's out, you get attacked, or like you're trying to hide from something and her light is giving you away, or like, I don't know, you got to hide her for some reason.
That's interesting, yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe there's something there, but I would say if there isn't, I don't need that.
Yeah, dude.
Get rid of it.
Yeah, so
you know, because then that opens up the D-pad.
The D-pad's free.
Just your item cycling,
yeah,
or your quick potions. You know, just very, very snappy gameplay.
Exactly. Instead of having to pan over on our quick menu, potions could be delegated to one of those buttons.
Totally.
Our magicites could be delegated to one of those buttons.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
We haven't even told you about the magicite yet. The magicite.
Yeah.
I was excited just to hear that word again.
Oh, it's so good from Final
like,
Fantasy VI and before.
Yes,
yeah, it's great.
Like, it's been so long since I've heard that word.
Yeah, please do.
So I was just excited to hear that. But yeah, so this is yet another feature that they've added to like that Zelda formula that is just going to breathe even more life and customizable gameplay into it. I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Someone else has finally done this thing, seemingly from Child of Light. You remember when you get like, they call it oculi in that game, but you can get different levels of colored stones, which obviously affect its power or its effectiveness. And it's like, oh, you need this many small ones to upgrade to a larger shard. And I just love that system of like different rocks, different magicite, but levels of them, effectiveness of them.
Totally.
It's great. Yeah.
This seems to have like a combo effect too. Like if
I love it.
Or it's got like certain sets or something. If you get the whole set, it seems like you're going to get a bonus effect.
Yeah.
And all of these different like magicite pieces all grant you little perks to your different item sets and stuff like that. So there's one that increases the slash like radius of your sword.
Yeah,
so now you have like
worth it.
Yeah, you have a longer reach on your sword, and like you can stack those if you put like multiple on them.
Yeah.
Or there's one that makes your bomb bigger. Did you find that one?
Yeah.
It makes your bomb like 25% bigger, so it's literally a bigger bomb with a bigger blast radius.
I think of it a lot like also the Hollow Knight charms.
Totally, very similar, because those also have like some linkage to it.
Can drastically change the gameplay.
Yeah.
And it's stackable, which I love. They affect one another.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like where I don't like to think about Hollow Knight, I would compare it, I would compare it to Nier Automata, where like you have your little chips, and like while like an individual chip you might not change your combat too much, the more you get plugged in there, the more it'll drastically change your fighting style, and you can tailor it more to yourself and like, or the way you like to play video games. Yeah, so I'm just super excited about that. And they also have loadouts. You can preset your loadouts up to, I think, 8 or 9 different slots.
Yeah. All on a wheel as well.
And they're also on that quick menu. So, like, you know, you can have different magicite sets tailored to the different, like, weapons that you might be using at any given time. And then, if I swap my sword out for the sickle, let's swap my magicite side out for the one that boosts my sickle. And they also have a crafting system in there, too, to make your own magicite. I think it's a cat. I think it's a little cat shopkeeper. You didn't talk to him?
No, I didn't go back to town.
Oh, yeah. So in the town, there's a little shopkeeper. I think his name is like Mew Mew.
Oh, sweet baby.
But, there's a little shop there where you can like combine your magicite to make new ones, or you can even dismantle the magicite you have to get the shards to make new magicite, and see what you come out with. It's got a little bit of a lottery to it.
Take my money.
For sure, right? Little bit of a lottery to it, but you come out with all these different magicites, and then you plug them in, and just change your fighting style. If only they had a stylist in there that could just give this a little flair. Like all the games that they've made, which are like all fantastic games, but you'll notice a trend of just these dud titles of Octopath Traveler, Various Day Life,
Bravely Default,
Triangle Strategy, and now we have the Adventures of Elliot.
Elliot's Expedition.
Yeah,
Elliot's Bogus Adventure.
Elliot's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah.
The Daily Days of Elliot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like it's missing is that like little flair, of just like cool character design and a bit of a narrative story to like propel you forward and make you like really engaged in the game. But like as far as like the gameplay itself goes, they always deliver.
And you said it best too with the style and the character potentially not having a pull, you were comparing Elliot to, say, someone like Cloud.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, when you look at a character like that, you know, they're very stylized. He's got spiky hair. He's got one like shoulder pad. He's got a giant sword.
Yeah.
Sleeveless like tee, a big belt. You know, there's a lot of things that pull you to him right away where you're like, oh, this guy is a little different.
Yeah.
Right. And then right away, like, you know, in Final Fantasy VII, what's your first interaction with Cloud? Somebody tries to talk to him and he's like not interested.
Yeah, he's just not having
It's
it.
like, I'm here to collect a paycheck. Let's get this
Front
going.
flips off of a train.
Right.
Just right to
big
business.
deal.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Throws the sword on the back.
Love the
He's like,
shirt
"Let's
too,
get to
by the way.
work."
I'm just noticing
Hey.
this. How appropriate.
Yeah, I love Square, but man, Team Asano's doing what you guys should be doing, even though it's the Square developer. Just, you know, you get what I'm saying here, right? It's like they're giving me what I want, and the big Square games aren't giving me what I want. No, but yeah. So what I'm just getting at is that, you know, like, you're immediately like introduced to that character. You understand like what they're about. They have this look. You're pulled in.
Yeah.
Where with this one, it's like you're in like a king's council, and they're like, hey, we're having trouble with these caves. There's tons of monsters in them, you know, and we need some help. And this guy's like, hey, I know an adventurer.
I got a guy.
Yeah, I got a guy. His name's Elliot, but he does have his quirks, you know. So they try to set him up.
Yeah.
And they're like,
I like a guy with quirks.
Love a guy with quirks, right? You're like, oh, something's gonna be a little different about this guy. Like, well, what's he gonna be? And then Elliot walks in and he says, "Hello, Your Majesty. I'm Elliot." And you're like, okay, well, all right. And then they're like, hey, we have a problem with these caves. Can you help us out? And he's like, well, I'm an adventurer. That's what I do. And they're like, okay, well, it's dangerous, so be careful. And he's like, don't worry. Us adventurers are used to that. See you later. And you're like, wow,
Where's
guy.
the quirk?
Here's a guy. So I guess his quirk is that he's wearing a red hat, a big red hat. So yeah, it just falls a little flat there. I wish they could like
Yeah.
deliver on that character a bit more. Like, you know, even visually, he looks like a red mage to me.
He looks like
And
a Square Enix red mage,
Yeah,
which is
and-
cool.
sure. And maybe that's why I don't find him quirky or like a little different, because I'm so used to seeing red mages.
Yeah.
Like, it's not new to me. So for a new guy to come in with a red scarf and a red hat and a feather, I'm not seeing like, oh, look at this guy's style. I'm like, oh, it's a game about a red mage.
Yeah.
But that's honestly the only thing this game is lacking in. Aside from that, they're still going to deliver to you an awesome area of just maps and dungeons and places for you to explore and items for you to collect, and like the gameplay is all there, baby.
So
It's
the
weird.
the main menu is really weird to me, because you go into the main menu and it's a menu of menus.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
I hate that. I hate it.
Yeah.
It's like going to a restaurant and they give you a menu to see which menu you'll want to see.
yes.
It's like, nah, dude, just
Yeah,
give.
just start me on page 1. you know?
Yeah,
So
just-
it's like,
just
yeah.
put
So,
me in the
so
menu.
their menu just gives you like this big blank canvas,
Yeah.
and then you select like inventory, magicite, settings, you know, whatever, instead of just starting you on the
page.
inventory page.
Yeah.
And then cycling. So it's like, yeah.
Or
it's
the
just
last
these,
page you left off on.
Sure. Yeah.
Something,
So it's just
yeah.
these little extra clicks you have to do.
I know, yeah.
And it's, you know, like I said, it's simple. It's not like
Yeah,
a
it's very
big
simple.
complaint. It's just a little gripe of like, oh, why do I have to press A 3 times when you could just press it 1 time?
So if I'm pressing L for map, it would be super nice to press L again and get me out of there.
Get right back.
Or back once and get me out of there.
Boom.
If I press start, put me in inventory. And if I'm in deep menu, like deep in the magicite menu,
Mm-hmm.
I've got to hit back like 5 times to get
Yeah.
back to the gameplay.
Yeah.
So how about start also, or plus button rather, just
Right.
gets me out of there
Just
no matter
close,
where
just
I'm at.
close menu. No
Bam.
matter what you're doing, start, close menu.
Punchy,
Out.
slutty.
Yeah, I'm just
In and
saying,
out,
that-
baby.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying is that these kind of like little tweaks just keep you in the action.
Yeah.
So it doesn't break your immersion of like, oh, I'm fighting. Hold on, I want to like change my magicite. And I need this potion, and then I want to equip my bomb to the A button, and then I'll get back to you. And then magicite loadout, and I'll switch this one, and then I gotta come back. Where am I on the map? Okay, back. But like, yeah, so just little things, little
Yeah,
things.
tiny.
Another exciting part of this demo is like once you're completed the demo, you can take a survey. And boy, did I take that survey.
I
dude.
took that survey like you would. I typed paragraphs to these
I
people.
did, yeah, and it's because I just want to help, dude. It's not. I didn't have like bad things to say.
Yeah.
Like not at all. Not big knocks. I just had like little tweaks, like the menu clunk.
Yeah. It's because we love it.
Yeah, I love it, and with just these simple like tweaks, this game is just gonna slap. You know, it's
this
like,
game could shine so much harder than every single adventure game.
Yeah, and then like with these little tweaks, you're not even gonna have anything like negative to say about it. You're just gonna be like, oh well, they did it all. It's great. It's great. Guys, I totally encourage you to go play this demo, have a blast, and then I encourage you even more to just take that survey and just let these guys know that they're first and foremost kicking ass. But then just, you know, these little things, smooth out these little things so that we all have like the best experience.
I guess it's so cool that they're even listening to us in the first place, that they're even issuing out this survey. So we got to take full advantage of it.
For sure.
And speaking of taking full advantage of something, why not go down in the comments and let us know how you felt about Elliot's various day life adventures.
Yeah, the bogus journey of Elliot's day life.
Expedition, Millennium Falcon Tales. No, but seriously, let us know how you felt about this demo.
You know, if there's something else that you think it has potential for, whatever, just tell me everything. You know, tell me even how to get rid of like this pimple on my face, because it's driving me crazy, dude. Like, leave me in the comments like how you exfoliate, bro. Okay.